thank you guys all for joining us here. So I'm gonna turn this music down just a little bit and say hi as well. All right, folks. Streams up. Say hi to the people.
Hey, peoples.
What's up, bitches?
Yes.
Look.
I have quite a few people out here. Some you may have heard of before, some you may have not. They're all quite interesting characters, we'll say. So it's going to be quite a lot of fun. Just kind of a quick rundown for anybody that's new out there. Yes, we playing a Dungeon World game. Dungeon World is a very story-based kind of dice roller. Instead of having a ton of rules to follow, it's, you know, let's pretend we're all heroes and do what we want to do and see where it leads. So that's really what it is. Of course, Google's a great place if you want to know more about the game. And we're going to be starting a West Marches type of gameplay. Imagine kind of like a sandbox to play in, where there's not really any specific campaign or plot element. It is really based off what the players want to go out and do that day. That way it allows flexibility for who's going to actually be here, you know, the characters that we can be playing with, the size of the group, all that kind of stuff can change on a week-by-week basis, so that really we can just have the most fun that we possibly can and go out and just do whatever we want. This is a group open to anyone that has any interest in role-playing, whether you've done it a million times, you've never done it before, you've played other games but never played Dungeon World, whatever the case might be. Always looking to add new players into the ranks so that if any of the normals happen to have a week that they can't be here, we can bring in some extras as well. If you guys would like some more information about the specific game, feel free to join us on the Discord that I've set up. That will take you directly to kind of the background, the rules, and general overflow game. Many things. Yep, I know. Switch over to the map quite yet.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I appreciate looking out. So yeah, I guess we will go ahead and switch over to our world of Talahm. Very interesting place. So again, this is going to be fairly new. I have a little bit of a rundown for all you folks out there. Just swig of water before I start reading this very Shadowhawk-like book that I've written. The lands of Talahm were once a beautiful place, covered in large forest, high peaks, humid jungles, hot deserts, perfect beaches, floating stones, and a large civilization shined down upon by the dual suns rising from both the east and the west. There were always problems with those that lived here, fighting for rocks, trees, or simply their name. Bickers were small and normally ended in duels until the two sprawling kingdoms of the west hit their borders and a massive war was begun. There were two choices for those that lived in the civilization: to fight or to flee. A city was placed in the middle of these lands called Corazon Mundo. It was a place to go to when you needed to buy something, find someone, learn something, or to visit. Truly the heart of the world, it held the brightest minds, the most insane wizards, and unique engineers in the land. These so-called saviors found a way to tear this city from its earthly grasp and carry it away on special grav crystals to the east for the safety of those inside. Those not there when it moved are called the Forgotten, left behind to search and find this now floating city. The lords of the west grew tired of their armies growing smaller and weaker and began forcing their sorcerers and wizards to use far darker means to fill their ranks, calling onto other planes for strength. They soon learned magic is not something to be used for war, as a plaything, or as a thing for power. The lords of these great beings, these other planes, began to appear and destroyed the land of the west, ending the war and sending the rest of civilization to the dark. This was 300 years ago. To the best recollection of the brightest minds in the current city, life is safe and happy within the walls of the floating city Corazon Mundo. Civilization has been limited to the city, able to grow larger and higher as needed. A large rank of security guards and some odd magic technology helps to keep the peace. The city itself is a place of beauty, structures reaching up and cutting the sky, shining in priceless metals, waterfalls and ponds glistening in the sun, flower and trees swaying in the breeze. It is here that we find these adventurers, not hard to find as they fill the suites in the best bar in town. Adventurers, very strange, odd, or insane folk, as most call them. No one leaves this city unless they have to, but these adventurers leave fun? They must be mad. It is here in Cloud 9 that the Wall of Heroes hangs, sketchings of saviors and other fallen heroes bested by the wilds outside of the city, and in the corner sits our corner. No one quite remembers who claimed that spot first, but it has been here where you would find these odd adventurers for many years. It is rumored that when the city first arrived in the east, these explorers began marking the table with their foundings. A simple X to mark the city, a road here, a mountain range over there, rivers, streams, and ponds is where they were found. And eventually the table became very full of markings, too full to actually be used as a table. Every stein would spill and plates would crash. As it was no longer useful as a table, it's fabled to have been used as simple kindling long ago, and now sits a, unpolished and very smooth table in its place. Now, with a pint in their belly, a story in their heads, and a wish for glory in their head, these adventurers discuss their plans for the day and set off to explore the unknown. It's the land of Talahm. Things have obviously changed. So, what I'd like to do today, since a few things have changed since the last time I would like us to, first of all, go through and meet our newest, adventuring member of the group, Mr. Edward the Daft. How are you, sir?
Old and cranky.
Old and cranky, yes. Well, Mr. Edward, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Are you gonna make me do this?
I am.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. Well, I'm the town wizard, pretty much. Spend most of my time in the libraries, learning and reading and falling asleep in the books. And every once in a while, I find a good enough reason to go outside of the city and explore and try to learn some more and try not to get killed.
Yeah, so as a wizard, main thing I'll need to know are what are your spells you're currently selecting today?
I have cantrips, which are light, unseen servant, and really long word I'm not going to try to read. Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation. You basically
Yeah.
get to clean stuff up.
Yeah. And then my spells are magic missile, invisibility, and charm person. And the one I didn't add apparently is cure light wounds. I could have sworn I put that on there.
It's a very good one to have.
Oh, balls to me. I thought I put that on there, but it didn't save. Okay, I gotta do that. Well,
For everyone else that is here, just kind of a quick overview. Any items that you received, any harm that you received, or any damage to any of your items that you received over the past games are no longer here. However, your XP is still here. So anyone that can and that wishes to level up, we can do that at this time. If you look under
Alright.
handouts,
Did you just say our XP is still here?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look under handouts, you'll see that there's a couple new handouts. I have put all of the basic moves into their own handy handout, which makes it easy for us. There is the class handouts that still just goes to the link, so you guys will need that up if questions on your own moves. And then there's travel and explore moves and downtime moves, which we will get into when we need to. But for leveling up, for anyone that chooses to, you need to have your XP equal to or greater than your current level plus 7. So that would mean 8 or more XP. For this, you would subtract your current level plus 7 from your XP. So you'd subtract 8. You would increase your level by 1. Choose a new advanced move from your class. If you are a wizard, which this will be maybe next week for you, Spoon, you would get a new spell for your spell book. And you can choose one stat to increase by 1. This may change your modifier, and changing Constitution increases your current HP as well. Keep in mind that no ability scores can go higher than 18. So again, that's going to be increasing your level by 1, choosing a new advanced move from your class, and increasing one of your stats by 1, which may increase a modifier which you pick.
I haven't had this webcam set up in forever. There we go. I think I'll just take all of the spells, please.
Take all spells for 500, Alex. By the way, for those in stream, hype up if you hear something too loud, too quiet, virtually mutable. Just let me know so I can mess around with those before we get started. I'm kind of keeping an
I
eye
already
on.
did my level upgrade already, so
Yep.
I'm all set.
Cool. So let's start with you then. Rohan, would you mind introducing yourself, who you are, kind of your little bit of backstory you would like to share with the group, and what advanced move you have taken for your class?
All right. Well, since we've morphed a bit, I am now actually a human Goliath, kind of hybrid. That it gives me an extra point to my strength instead of piercing damage I had before. What do we got? From an area that has very finite resources, and all men must become warriors or farmers, essentially. And due to my disdain for a lot of people, large crowds, things of that nature, I kind of left my area also because I was stronger than anybody else, and I've been looking for a new challenge. And then the new move I took to Merciless, which gives me additional damage when dealing damage. So I roll an additional 1d4 on top of whatever damage I deal.
And keep in mind, if you're also doing hack and slash, you do have that other option to roll a 1d6 and take attack back. So you could roll standard hack and slash plus 1d6 plus 1d4, if you so choose.
1d10 for my damage.
Oh yeah, whatever damage
Okay.
is. You can roll a second 1d6 attack on hack and slash if you want to open yourself to attack back. That's on a 10 plus.
Oh, okay. So, right, 10 plus, you not to bend and just do additional damage.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
All right.
All
Anybody else? Oh, go ahead. Has anybody else, Sirach or Kenshin, have you guys chosen what you would like to go and wish to introduce yourself to the class?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna level up.
All right.
I'm currently sitting on 12 XP, so I will subtract
8.
8. Bring me down to 4. Now I'm level 2. Changed all that. Okay. And for my move,
All right, Prado.
Hey, Prattle.
No problem.
hold on, I'm
Welcome to the stream.
deleting coins. Okay.
I threw it in Hill's Discord, by the way. The link to the
And
stream.
I am going to increase my constitution by 1.
Okay, so that will increase your HP as well.
Correct. The move I am taking
Up,
is
Super
going
Nose.
to be...
Hey, Supernose.
Hey, Super. I'm going to take the move... Where is it?
You're what class again, Hawk?
Barbarian.
I am the Barbarian.
I'm just trying to find your sheet so I can see what all you can get.
I'm going to take Appetite for Destruction.
Ooh,
And the
fancy.
move I am going to select from Appetite for Destruction is I'm going to select the fighter's signature weapon move.
Okay.
Fancy.
Did that hold up? Pretty cool.
Basically, I'm going to use it to...
Yes, upgrade your weapon.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's talk about your character then, before we do your weapon.
Okay.
Are you?
Well, considering how my weapon is a vast part of what I am an outsider. No one really knows who I am. Other than that, I carry a sword and I wear weird clothing.
It ain't that weird, boy. Fancy silks. Oh, it may not be
Yes.
that weird to me, I should say, but nobody knows.
Well, they're in a. I mean, silk can exist, but I wear mine in a different fashion than everybody else does.
that. Back in my day, your kind were everywhere. I mean, what?
Probably not. His kind's fairly new to the island. Compared to...
Anyways, so yeah, I'm actually fairly silent most of the time. When I do speak, though, it's probably because somebody should be listening.
Yeah, fuck that noise.
Listen to all knowledge given. And then decide whether it's worth listening to.
Listen
But,
to it and then decide whether it's listening to? Is that really what you just said?
Yeah, whether it's worth your time or not.
But yes, I have haunted eyes that are gray. I have hair that is a shocking color of silver. I move fairly easily. My upper torso is covered in tattoos, specifically a very large falcon on my right arm.
Birdie.
And since I'm a barbarian, that's all I'm going to give you for right now. You guys to learn more about me as we go.
Well, you're also going to give me a little bit about your signature weapon. Oh.
Yes, I am.
I'm assuming you're going to be going with sword. But
Why, yes, I am.
so what range? I would assume your sword doesn't grow. So we're probably going to go with close.
Correct.
Now you're able to choose 2 enhancements from that list. What are they, and how does it affect your...
All right. Well, the 2 enhancements from that list are going to be, it is sharp. Incredibly sharp. And that will, of course, allow me to better deal with foes who both wear armor and those who may just have tougher hide. And then I am also going to choose well-crafted. Which means even though my sword is elegant and beautiful, it is and sharp, it weighs significantly less than a weapon of its type should.
And how does it look?
My sword is ancient, and it looks it.
And describe, like, what about it makes it look... Does it just look used, like, kind of rusted, or is it the hilt is very strange?
It's in no way rusted. It is immaculately kept. But you can tell by the sheath. There are spots where, although the lacquering on the sheath is still there, you can tell it's been grasped many times and, shoved through a sash.
Mm-hmm.
and uh, the handle is carefully wrapped, but you can see where countless hands have grasped the handle.
Cool, cool. Well, that's pretty awesome. Yes, as a barbarian, kind of the thing about this game for that class is their main class move is that me as a GM at the beginning of the session asks them a question about where they came, so I can learn a little bit more about their character. We had done this beforehand, so the question would have been: there's an enemy that you have both in the old land and the new land. Do you mind repeating what you had told me what that is for the audience?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't remember what I called them,
Not
but
men.
they're not men. That's what I was like. I didn't use a true word. We call them not men. They're an ugly, truly barbaric race. They smell when you get close to them, and they wear large amounts of fur and improperly tanned hides solely to wear them. Not like it's particularly cold where they come from. They ride great slavering beasts that look neither like feline nor canine, but some strange amalgamation of both. And they use very crude weapons of stone and iron, but their weapons, despite this, are vicious and sharp. They have no qualms about using them, and they stand up surprisingly well against even well-made weapons. And they have been a plague of my people for generations. They mostly come in bands of 10 to 20, but occasionally you'll run across a larger group. And then every 50 to 100 years, an army of them will appear and burn and destroy everything in their path until they run into something that they can't best. And then, like the waves, they will crash against it until they are not.
Spooky,
The
spooky.
real problem...
Spooky, spooky.
Yeah. One of the big problems with them is that my people have followed them before, those that have fled. And even when you come across a settlement, and that's a rough word for it, or sometimes it's little more than a fire with a few tents around it, there are no women, or if there are, we can't distinguish them from the males, but we never see children. We don't know where they come from or how they breed or any of that.
Things to learn. Little strings to pull on in the future, it would seem. Good fun. Well, finally, our druid friend, Sirach, our little halfling, have you chosen your move? What you're moving
Our
towards?
alcoholic.
Yes, yes. Well, we don't know if he's still following that path.
That was last time. That's not
Oh,
this
okay.
time.
That was just a
My
dream.
I actually had a question about one of the moves.
Absolutely.
Bark skin, does that count when I'm in a different form other than my normal?
Bark skin, that's any form as long as your feet are touching the ground. So
So as long as I have feet.
on the ground, that's correct. As long as, I will say, as long as your body part is touching the ground.
I'm actually going to go with the red of tooth and claw then.
That says when you are in an appropriate animal form, something dangerous, increase your damage to 8. Well, do you mind introducing yourself, a little bit about your back history, and then the main creatures from your land, Rock?
Well, as he said, I'm a halfling with haunting blue eyes, wearing weathered leathers. My weapon is still in a form that is not much of a weapon. It will eventually become a staff, but I must work the wood of my land to achieve this. They're glowing blue scars across the entirety of my body from the land that I was raised in. That's pretty much all I can remember.
Mm-hmm. And so, from where you come from, there's a couple specific creatures that you're able to summon their spirit and turn it to again.
Well, one of them changed,
Okay.
and as far as that one goes, I'm not decided or anything yet on what that was. But the staple of the area that I came from is these large wolves that they just roam in packs and try and take down the bigger predators of the region that are known as Goliaths. Basically just really, really big bears.
Gonna murder Ginger.
That's what I thought at first. I was like, wait, excuse me?
What?
So, with
You said
that,
Goliath and Ginger's a Goliath.
Kind of.
He's a human kind of Goliath.
Like, yeah.
Instead of a
Yeah.
Goliath. So as I know where you have selected your starting zone to be Zerok, going from the Born of the Soil move, reading through that list, do you feel like that is more the Sapphire Islands kind of place? I think that closer to the Towering Mountains. Which one of those land selections do you represent the place of your home?
Probably the islands.
Okay.
Because that's where I originally was.
Mm-hmm. Fine. Yeah, I mean, I know the backstory of it, so definitely there are wolves and Goliaths that live on this island, but that also opens up, obviously sea creatures and that kind of stuff. So as you begin thinking of things you'd like to change into, we'll definitely discuss that. And if I feel like, yeah, that's probably something that you had on those islands, then absolutely. If not, then we might try to find something that's similar but actually closely fits that selection. All right, so that should cover up leveling up. I do have a couple questions just about your characters and what they've been up to. So, Sirach, as a druid, so you're living in this floating city. What do you do to keep your abilities instead of just going crazy wandering around the city where it's nothing but stone and metal and people? What do you do to keep working on your druid abilities?
I actually sneak out quite often and kind of near the city.
Mm-hmm.
More like not on the main beach area, but off more on one of the side beaches. I go out there and just kind of go through a routine of keeping in touch with the different animal spirits that I have become accustomed to.
Mm-hmm. And Rohan, this is a very, very crowded city. How's the social stuff coming along? How are you doing with all that?
I still.
Still having issues.
Really?
What are you doing to? Are you trying to leave as well, or do you have like a certain routine you go through to kind of calm your spirits or something?
I tend to avoid crowded areas as much as
Mhm.
possible, using back alleys and just
Doing what you can.
just avoiding people
Yeah.
for the most part.
Absolutely. Edward, you're kind of on like a journey. You're trying to find something or learn something, or you're searching just for something. What are you searching for? Why are you leaving the city?
I'm in a search for knowledge.
What kind of knowledge? Because you see, I mean, you're old.
Some kind of. Well, nobody knows I'm old.
I had all these bookshelves installed in my garage because I like knowledge.
You know what's better than this Lamborghini? The 12 bookshelves I had installed.
Knowledge.
Arcane knowledge, knowledge for,
Doing
my,
the spoopy stuff that he does.
my rituals that nobody knows about, learning how to improve that and have it, cost less and maybe prevent it altogether.
So you're looking for books and scrolls and tomes and just things to fill that old brain of yours.
Anything from the old world's better than anything from the new world, so.
And so this question is going to be something for the back end of the actual game. I have some ideas about some good outside of adventure kind of things that we can do. So I'm going to ask each one of you, and this is something you can think about. If you had 1,000 gold, you can spend it on anything in the city, to do anything in the city, what would it be?
I already know. My own personal library.
Okay.
I fill with my knowledge.
Knowledge.
Knowledge! Listen here,
Knowledge?
whippersnapper. Oh yeah, in case anybody doesn't know, I'm old as shit, but I look young as hell. So nobody knows I'm old, but I'm like really super ancient.
Mhm.
At least 300 years old. But I look 20 because of what happened
Reasons.
when I was younger. Yeah.
Those darn raisins you've been eating.
Those
Yes.
raisins everywhere.
1,000 gold. The reason I want to ask you this is I've seen some other West March games where the players are allowed to decide, okay, maybe I want to buy a building, or I want to build a specific base, or I want to update the blacksmith to have better weapons, or the alchemy to have better potions. There's all these things. Now, Dungeon World doesn't have a huge amount of things for that, but I can come up with stuff pretty easily if it's something you guys are interested in. So if it's, again, 1,000 gold, if you look at the equipment list, can buy you a lot of the stuff that's on there. So having that amount of gold, I want to open up other possibilities. So, library, it's an interesting concept. That's land ownership, that's rights, it's all that kind of stuff.
Do you have an
Blacksmithing for
equipment
me.
list somewhere?
So like increasing the blacksmith. Okay, so the things I've been thinking with that
Well,
is
because part of my class stuff is, I believe, blacksmithing. If I remember correctly. Hold on. Classes. Fighter. Maybe I'm thinking something else.
That this existed.
Okay, yeah, so when you have access to a forge, you can graft magical powers of a weapon onto your signature weapon, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I think definitely the blacksmith, so I can modify my weapon more, or more precisely.
cool. Sirach and Kenshin, do you guys have any ideas?
With Firefox.
All good?
Well, you should be using Chrome.
Yeah, I honestly am debating switching because lately it's just been a pain.
Do it.
Don't debate, just do one of us. No, I'm totally good with implementing a system that allows us to improve things,
Okay.
so that we can improve things.
Sweet. All right, so to finalize everything else, we need to go through bonds again because we have a new character and we probably have some old bonds in our character sheet. So, Edward, since you are the newest of the new, I'd like you to decide your bonds first, sir.
Boy, I gotta go back to my classes page. Wizard. I had one picked out. Oh yeah, it was this first one. Blank will play an important role in the events to come.
You have foreseen it. Who and what have you foreseen?
I think it's gonna be Hawk's character, Kenshin. I've foreseen a great battle where he plays an important role.
In a dream, in a drunk sleep. How'd you see it?
It was more kind of meditative type vision.
All the acid he dropped for.
Well, you know, I got, maybe. You don't know what I do in the library. Nobody ever comes in here.
Besides touch yourself.
Don't
That's
touch
what
the
books are
pages. Quite a few closed
They're all
books.
stuck together.
And,
Do you have any other bonds you would like to do?
Always wear gloves.
Come on, guys. I think I have to keep an eye on Rohan. I think he's gonna end up hurting himself. I'm gonna take it about myself and keep an eye on him. Try to learn him the ways.
Okay. So, like something Rowan is misinformed about the ways of the world, I will teach.
Yeah, just probably like his general interactions with people.
Rohan is
Very healthy
uncivilized, I will civilize him.
Sorta, yeah. I think that's about it.
Fuck off, Gramps.
Yeah, and look, I look the same age as you. You don't know I'm older. You shut up. I look like
You
20.
shouldn't have told me.
I didn't.
You did, though.
I didn't. Your character doesn't know. You can't metagame. Shut up. What's wrong
Not
with you?
my fault you decided to spill the beans.
Kenshin. Let's take a look at your sheet, see what you had, and if you update anything. Bonds. Yes, you do have one with Vincent, so if you wish to just simply delete that one, that's fine. If you want to add a new one in, that's cool as well. Or if you wish to update any of the other ones, it's all up to you.
I think I'm going to. I'm actually going to change. I'm actually going to change Vincent to Boone's new character, which is
Edward.
something the Daft.
Edward.
The Daft.
Edward.
I do find his.
What about him is
weird.
like strange? What does he do that's
Well, aside from the not wearing pants thing.
Come on. I wear pants.
You wear
Oh,
very
robes.
long shirt?
They're shorts, okay? They're shorts under there.
You wear robes.
I do wear a robe that has like leather weaved into it for armor.
It's not like your legs are not covered. I just
You got a problem? Whatever.
It's a man in a dress.
You don't wear pants. Yeah, it's a man in a dress, exactly.
he's wearing robes. It's not a dress.
You don't wear a shirt, so whatever.
I wear a shirt.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Ginger.
Well, you're weird.
Right.
Everyone's weird.
But
Yeah.
I
You're all
do
you're
have
all
those.
you're all weird.
You gonna try and make me wear pants? Is that what's gonna happen?
No.
I am wearing scale armor, though.
No.
So.
And your T is odd.
My tea is fine.
Your T is odd.
Yeah, I could see his tea being odd.
It's an
It's-
ancient
it's-
recipe.
His T is odd to me. But yeah, he just and he always talks with his hands.
Mm. Well, I mean, he's not called the Daft for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes just things happen.
Yeah, you gotta go. We gotta go over there and we gotta get the things. You gotta learn with their
Look, we
head. We
gotta
gotta
do
learn with
this.
our head.
Look,
We
it
gotta
says in
speak the
this
words
book
out of
right
our
here,
mouth.
Look, see, right here in this book, it says "fuck you." I wrote it myself in the creases.
You want to update or keep the ones that you currently have?
Yeah, you're one to talk, Super.
My shirt
We're
shrank.
all
That's what I
strange.
said.
No, I think the rest of them will stay the same.
Oh, the
Okay.
shirt.
Actually, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch Ogden to. I'm gonna change his to Sirach.
Okay.
I have 2 bots with Sirach.
Sounds good. All right, and Rohan.
Because
Yes?
yeah, Sirach is always getting into trouble.
Out.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
So he has been hitting the sauce.
You gonna
Keep
rejoin
in
us
mind, you
anytime,
can either
Faisal?
use the ones that are here or decide to make up one on your own.
I'm trying.
Rohan can do it.
So we have a druid, a wizard,
The barbarian.
barbarian stayed.
Not only did I stay, I didn't actually change.
Faisal didn't change either. He just the little stuff he had to change, but other than that, it's still the same person.
He's just not a drunk anymore.
No, not yet.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
but I don't know.
He hasn't actually wandered into the world yet.
Yeah, let's go with the rock is soft, but I'll make him hard like me, I guess.
There you go.
You know, I'll
Soft.
punch
Is
him in
it
the
just
face.
because he's so tiny, so childlike?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this
pretty
this
much
thing should have been thrown into the pits long ago.
Yep.
All right. Any others that you want to add?
I don't know how to spell Sirach's name.
SERAC.
Eric.
I even conveniently put it on the screen for you.
Oh, thanks.
Reading's hard.
I didn't. You weren't back. You just got back.
Whoa.
Whoa,
happened?
screaming and people are being murdered, Hawk. What's going on in the
Raid.
background there?
And then I worry about the old man.
Yeah.
Seems a little off to me.
I am off because
Yeah.
of reasons you don't
those,
know about.
Those robes, like, come on, he's not gonna make it. He's gonna die one hit.
Look, you don't know. I look healthy and vigorous. I look fine.
Turok. Let's take a look at what you had. So yours could stay as they are, but if you want to add a new one for Edward or change it to those, that would be fine.
I'm as strong as the day I was
I'm still
born.
trying to get to him.
There, the car chase scene appears to be over.
You have a computer, Potter. Why not download the PS4 Remote Play? Play it on another monitor. You don't even have to leave the room. You don't even have to leave your chair.
So done.
Okay, the halfling has decided to just pass out. So.
No, he's looking. Bonds.
Bongs. He's too young to go in there.
He's a halfling.
21 and over. Stay out of the smoke shops.
Okay, which one do I need to redo?
don't have to
You
redo
don't
any of
have to redo any. You can keep the ones that you have, but if you'd like to add a new one for Edward, you can definitely do that if you wish.
Hold on. I'll try to find it for you there. Don't, Can I do links in your channel, Stilts?
Maybe, probably not. Let's see what is.
No, you're not a mod, so probably not.
I can do this, but oh,
Just
Like permit.
permit.
let's try it. Permit.
Exclamation.
Build. There you go. You can post one link, but only one. Link permitted. So while Sirach's thinking, I want to go over a couple new things, a couple additional ways for you guys to get XP in the game. So you can go through the normal methods. Every time you get a 6 or under, you get XP. At the end of the session, we'll go through, we'll ask those 3 questions. Any of the questions that we're able to answer yes to, and those are: did we learn something new and important about the world? Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy? Did we loot a memorable treasure? Yes, yes, yes. That's 3 XP. If you either change or complete your alignment, or if you complete a bond, those are also XP. Those are all the specific things from the book, the things that I've added. I will not be adding anything else to the map except for what I have here. So, as I start describing things like there's a thing here and a river there and a mountain here and blah 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 blah, you guys are the ones that, like your characters would do, or you're be making a map of your own. We'll do my best to kind of show you where those things are, but it's up to you guys to actually happen. And then you also have a link for those that wish to write a log of what's going on. There is a forum post on Roll20. If you go to the main game page called Travelogue, anyone that writes a 250 word plus little travel expose on what they did during the last session, I want it to be a place for anyone that happened to not be there for the past week to be able to go through and kind of see, oh, well, what did they do? How did Kenshin feel about it? Because I'm pretty sure Ken mostly filling those out. But anyone that does that for the week will get an extra XP. And then finally,
Yeah, I didn't do very well in English class, so I ain't writing
Yeah,
shit.
me neither. Sorry.
we will be making a goal every week. A goal is either something that's selected by the group or by whoever I deem to be the leader of the group, and that will most of the time be whoever came up with the current thing that we're doing. So if somebody came up with a rumor or whatever, they'll be considered the leader. You guys will come up with a goal. If you guys complete the goal, you all get XP. If you don't complete the goal, then we're going to roll some dice. We're going to see what kind of things happen because you didn't do the jobs or you failed to complete your mission. So those are the 3 new ways to get XP. So, Sirach, will you be adding a new bond or staying with the ones you have?
I'll add a new one. Basically, it's me showing them a secret of the land and how to kind of like use its power a little bit.
Okay. Edward or someone else?
Yeah, we'll go with Edward.
Nobody trusts the wizard to survive on his own.
Quizzes. Car crash. Okay.
I'm
Perfect.
a wizard, goddammit. I can survive on my own. I know the ways.
I
So-
don't think so. Soft.
Here we are. Go ahead and do a couple more questions. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to hop into this. So, Edward, sitting in the library one day, and this bird flies in with a scroll. and you open this scroll up, and it's your old friend. It's the king, Mister Tom Thomason Leaford, the gnome king of Tularhagen. And he says, "Oh, yes, hello, dear Edward, my friend. I'm afraid I have very bad news. My daughter has fallen quite ill, and there's a special item that I need from a camp nearby. These strange keepers have, well, they have this jar, this vase thing that I will need you to gather. So if you could get a group together and make sure to find them. I believe they're called the Ghost." And it just says, "Farewells and safe journeys, my friend. I hope to speak with you soon." The King of Tularhagen, you know that the gnomes, they have a nice little tree house not too far outside of the city. If you were looking out of the city walls, you would see this huge, they call it the Barrier of Blue. It's this forest full of these very dark blue pine tree and oak trees that seem to rise up with these everything, and it all seems to sway and wave like it was an oak. It's very beautiful to look at, but if you actually get down in there, it's very hard to see because the colors and everything seem very. They have this huge tree that they live in called Tularhagen, and it's just this massive oak tree that they have carved out the inside, and they all pretty much just live in there, and that's his own little kingdom. They like to hang in there, and they like to drink and hang out, and they're very friendly with everyone. So they have asked you to find the Goss camp, and you know what? You were able to find it, Edward, but it was very hidden. So how did you find it? How did you know where to go?
I followed the stench.
What is it that was making stench? Ghost or?
It was the people. They don't wash. Gnomes are very filthy.
Oh, these aren't gnomes that you're at the camp. These are these other creatures, the Goss, that are holding this jar that the gnomes want.
Sorry, I was busy laughing at Ginger. Yeah, those people stink too.
How do you distinguish between the two? They both stink.
Well,
Different kinds of stink.
I got a waft of them, and then I kind of.
The gnomes stink purty, and the goths stink.
The gnomes
Ugly.
stink like.
Their flight smell like roses. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
They stink like moldy books. These guys smell like, shit and rotten corpses and whatnot.
And so, Sirach, you've been able to kind of go outside the city, and you know that there's, dangers in the forest. What specifically were you warned of in the Barrier of Blue, the forest that you're going into? What were you warned of?
The snakes that are not large, but they're big enough that they could take your leg and just start sucking in and biting all the way up, and then break it off.
Actually, they would be able to
run away.
eat you.
Because I've had an awesome track record with snakes. Thanks,
like
guys.
I was about to say, they're not swallow a Wookiee large, are they?
Yeah, I've had an awesome.
Well, when he
track record
says
with
swallow a
snakes.
leg,
Thanks,
you have to
guys.
think he's probably basing that off of his leg. So they're ankle biters, pretty much.
Yep. Very dangerous.
Very dangerous ankle biters. Kenshin, you're a little concerned. What are you looking out for from these gnomes? What's your concern about these strange Tularhagen folks that sent you on this mission?
Well, they remind me very much of creatures that my people have dealt with in the past that can both be very beneficial, but also very spiteful and not understanding if you fail in the task they give you.
And Edward, what did the king promise you if you were to bring him this jar?
Me personally?
Yeah, in his letter, what did he promise?
Like,
Edward, if you do this, I promise.
I found this couple 100-year-old book that gives detailed knowledge on,
Knowledge.
and then it kind of cuts off because the bird
He has
snatched
really
the
bad
paper.
penmanship. He has really
He's a
bad
gnome,
penmanship.
you know. He's like the bird's like, I've had enough of this, and he flew off with the paper.
Perfect. So you guys, you've traveled through this barrier of blue. Once you get down below, it is very strange in there because again, you have these two suns that are both rising from the east and the west. So these shadows are crisscrossed under all of these trees, and you go through some areas where it's just these pine trees where you can look up and you can see the sky, and then every once in a while there'll be a little group of these oak trees that kind of hover over and provide shade. See that there's these birds chirping in the distance. There's these two-tailed bright red, they kind of look like foxes that like to scurry away. They'll come up and look at you and run away. But overall, the forest itself, it seems to be at peace and at resting. And finally, you've followed this stench, and eventually you come across to the
Is
camp.
that supposed to be what these little guys are?
Oh boy.
And that is where we're going to take our first break. Everybody wants to go get a drink of water. We're gonna start doing a little
Is that us down there?
role playing. Yep, you guys are down at the bottom. Make sure you have your characters.
I do not. Oh
Do
wait,
not?
wrong button. That's fine.
Good.
I don't.
Good.
Really.
Assigned to you.
But I'm on the right thing.
Take a quick look here.
Is it under the grid? Is that the problem?
Let's double check here.
I can't select mine either.
All right, so
There's
try now.
something that
I got it. Yeah, I can move.
I was about to say there's something you have to.
Try
It's
now.
on the token itself.
And
Yep, I got me.
There we go.
Right, so that is you guys. That is where you are.
We'll
So
be back.
before we
here,
start,
by the
let's
way.
take a quick 5-minute break. By the way, that is a dirt pile that you get. So, perfect. Go ahead and get
Those
that
are some
saved.
big-ass
Everybody
apples.
else,
Holy shit. Okay.
hang out for a little bit. We're going to turn this music back up. We're going to take a quick break, grab some water, and get started. Thanks everybody that's been hanging out so far. Definitely make sure to check that link. And for anyone that does want more information on our Dungeon World game, head over there, join our Discord, take a look at it, and right back. Thanks, folks.